Good evening, everybody, and welcome to House and Garden Flipper episode 171. We're going to head up and finish our Moonbase today. A little hint down the bottom says, in American gardens, trees and shrubs with lush greenery are planted on the outskirts of the property. Okay, that's one of my mistakes, and I always plant them in the middle. So, away we go. Browser and Moonbase 49, where are you hiding? According to Raphael Urco, there has to be a TV in the bedroom. He's out of luck this time round though, because if one of our second highest bidders happens to be Jimmy Trader, he's not into TVs in the bedroom. You know, I'm thinking we may actually just leave. I don't know. I'm very tempted to just leave the Moonbase as it is. Because the trees and plants we've got, mind you, we do have crops, these crop plants in this garden. I can pick it up. I don't know if I want to pick that up. I'm just wondering if I can, I don't know, like pull open the plant. See, that sells the whole thing. I don't want to do that. So if I grab this thing, okay, no, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, please, can I put it down now? Oops. Oh wow, I've done the whole thing. Ooh. Alright, remind me not to fiddle with the gardens. Let's leave that alone. Alright, so what I was thinking of doing, and I suppose I should close that now. What I was thinking of doing, right, is actually just taking the plants out of here and maybe replacing them with things like strawberries or other stuff, but it doesn't look like it's going to let me do that. So I'm just trying to work out what to do. So an American garden has a pool space, a barbecue area, a comfortable eating area, and a paving stone paths, as best I can tell. It also has yeah, that. So my problem with doing a garden here is I don't think I can give the front yard conifers. Actually, I probably can't. Bear with me. I've now become completely sidetracked as to what I was going to do. So conifers, right? And they're like low growing stuff in the front yard. So, mind you, this is not low growing, but anyway, I think we might go with our creeping dense shrub, because look, it looks like you can plant it. So if we were going to plant an American garden here, right? This is my very sparse interior. We would probably want to do something like, I don't know, put a couple of these down. And I don't know, can we dig? No, see, okay. So the best I could do would be to put the shrubs in, and they're not planted, so that doesn't work. I was hopeful there for a minute that it would let me, but it's not going to. I wonder if I have a big enough box I can put them in. A large garden container under there. I tried putting down a brick flower bed before and it just won't go, so that's not going to work. But garden pots, I know technically it's cold out here and there's no kind of atmosphere, but if you have a look, I've got no suit on, so there has to be some kind of atmosphere, or I would be floating away, and B, I'd be suffocating. And seeing as I'm not doing either, there's an atmosphere. See, that's tiny. I want gargantuan. But I'm thinking the biggest gargantuan thing I have is that. And I don't think I can plant a tree in it. In which case I'm going to sulk and not use it. But let's just have a look and see. Alright, so why don't we try a tall, skinny, short. There you go, a short, skinny pine tree. There we go. Let's see if we can fit one of these in the box. No, but it won't let me dig it in. Okay. Alright, look, it was worth a shot. So if we can't do an American garden, and I'm pretty sure we won't be able to put a pool in, but hey, you never know until you try, right? No digging up the moon for pools. Who says? So if we can put a pool on the moon, we would stick something, I don't know, a bit like this. See, it says I can put it down, but it won't let me dig it in. However, you could probably, I wonder if the water would all boil off. I don't know. Does physics work the same way in this game? See, I could put one of these in and that would work, but we're not going to. So if we're going to put a garden of any kind out here, it's probably going to have to be a British garden, which means it needs, well, let's have a look and see what it needs. Okay, so American we can't do because we can't put in low profile evergreen plants, and we can't do swimming pools and sun chairs. Crop garden, they want an orchard with this garden ideally, so that's not going to work. English garden, loose and natural layout on the moon. Blooming colourful perennials, naturally shaped bushes. Okay, we can't put in bushes, but we could, I mean, a romantic corner with a bench in a yeah, okay, maybe not. Sweet smelling roses. Usually, walls are usually overgrown with vines. Well, we can check that off. We've managed to do that. And brick or stone. So, I mean, we could try an English garden here. The other thing we could use would be the modern garden, which might be a bit easier to do. And given that we're selling it to probably Jack Turrington, that might not be a bad idea either. So this is either going to bomb out terribly or it's going to work. And we'll never know until we poke it. So we want comfortable furniture, elegant geometric forms. Not too many plants, probably a good thing. And I don't know how it will count the those. Right, see, because I'm pretty sure we can put grasses in here. Pretty sure. I could be wrong. So we have this tall stuff. Where are you? On the moon. Maybe that one's a bit big. Let's try a smaller one. Yeah, see, that will fit. It's really at odds with what I've put around the outside though. Okay. See, that is very English garden. This is very modern garden. I like this though. Okay, well, I am not going to go around to the outside again, so let's have a look at English garden stuff. We want a small deciduous bush that doesn't require us to actually dig it into the ground. Sure. Let's go with flower beds. I think oleander would be a bad idea even on the moon. You know, we can probably get away with rose bushes. We could match them to the base's colour. Okay. I have no idea how this is going to work. But it'll be interesting and it might even be fun. So, or it's going to be an absolute disaster and I'm going to cry because I wish I hadn't done it. One of the two. Okay. I have no idea how this is going to work. So let's just hope that whoever's driving the vehicle knows how to fly. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is we're going to have some really squashed rose bushes. Doop-de-doo. Alrighty, let's just see how this goes. So my theory on the Moonbase, and the reason I'm putting plants out where they really don't belong, is that if I can walk around out here with my bare arms and my no spacesuit, then inside this fence is like some kind of atmosphere, right? So if there's some kind of atmosphere inside this fence, then plants maybe can kind of sort of possibly grow here. Except, oh yeah, that's right, and there's got to be some kind of climate control, otherwise it wouldn't work. So I'm not sure what all the plants are doing in jars. Maybe they're the early plants that just couldn't hack it. I know, I'm making up a story here. It's what I do. Anyway, and so possibly the reason we can put these plants down out here and they're not brown withered husks when we're finished is that they are hybrids bred especially for being on the moon, right? This is called Pratenkalk. So if we have hybrids specialized on the moon, and it's always possible, then we can have ourselves an English garden of sorts. Oops. Although heaven knows how this is going to work. But anyway, all right, let's just flip that one. So like I said, this is either going to be terrible or it's going to be okay. Then of course you've got the question of, if I build this big bright spot on the moon like this, will someone see it from Earth? It's probably not how physics works, but anyway, let's just keep it to be a pretty simple British garden. We might stick some rose bushes in here, matching the colour of the base. Actually, we could get really fancy and just do every second one is the colour of the base. And then we'll stick a white one in as well to match the other colours on the base. So that would be, I don't know, I'm just playing with ideas and this could be one of my worst yet, but we'll find out. Here we go. One rose garden on the moon coming up. Because face it, gardens improve the value of your house, so why shouldn't this one have one as well? And away we go. Theoretically, I mean, it looks like I could just stick this rose bush . I can just stick this rose bush right in the middle of the moon. Let's just leave that one there for a minute. while I think about that possibilities that just opened up. Ah, dear. Oh, that's just messed me up, hasn't it? Alright, these will just have to be the same. Oh no, it didn't. I've just put things in the wrong pot. Okay. I can't have a pond, or can I? Alright, let's just go with our white rose bushes for a minute and we'll see how this goes. Oh right, that's unexpected. Unexpected. Let's see how we do. Let's go with this one. And away we go again. One. Of course, if we put them in the pots, we can just move them around. This will mess up the aliens' landing pattern. They'll have no idea what's going on. What crazy human thought this was a good idea? One that enjoyed rosehip tea. And it was a guy, because all my clients are guys. So, cannot blame the girls for this one. I mean, we could of course use these as a, I don't know, as a landing guide. Which house is yours on the moon? Mine's the only one with the rose garden. The neighbours think it's hilarious. I bet them each $10 a month that my rose bushes will still be alive at the end of the month, and so far I've made a small fortune. I'm about to be the moon's first billionaire. There we go. There we go. Actually, that looks quite pretty. I'm really not so sure about this one though. Okay, so if in the English garden we have secret corners and nooks, I wonder if the pond will count if I don't dig it in. So let's make it kind of an orderly sort of pond. We'll get it to match the soil. And I don't know, okay, it won't let me. What? I can put a swimming pool in, but I can't put a pond in. Alright. English gardens don't have ponds. That's okay. Let's have a look at this fountain. It's a bit tiny. And it's probably going to be a very dry fountain in 20 seconds flat. Okay. Alright, well, this is going to be my my badminton court. This will be my orchard. There we go. What will I put in this corner? I have no idea. I might just do the same again and we'll see how that goes. Alright, we need the big red boxes. I could alternate the colours on them too, but we won't now. Oops. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a bit derpy. Come here. Okay. Alrighty, let's pop this one in. You know, you could probably put a veggie patch on the moon, provided all your vegetables fit in a pot. Oh, what am I thinking? We could try actually just putting the vegetables straight into the moon soil, because that seemed to work so well a little minute ago. I don't know how this goes, but I like it better than just the bare yard. So we will see how this goes when we come to our garden contest. So we can manage the roses. We're going to manage a few little flowers in there in a minute, so we'll do that shortly. Actually, what I might do is see if I can get some of those flowers to adapt straight into the moon soil. And we might put them in rows in front of the boxes. You know, today all I was going to do was a bathroom and an atrium. And then I was going to sell the place and see what that looked like. But I'm thinking, if we can get a British garden going here, we can maybe increase the profit that we make on our house. Or it will be so terrible that they'll make me pay them to take it. I don't know, one of the two. Like I said, there's only one way to find out. Let's just get the boring part of putting the boxes down out of the way. This was not at all in my head when I started today, so it's a little ad hoc. Which is okay, I guess. Yeah. This is one of the best things about this game, is you can just try stuff out, see what works and what doesn't. I'm not sure this is working, but it is interesting. So back it up, flip it. It's a bit like Alaska. The sun never goes to sleep at this time of year. Alright. When I finish wrecking my Moonbase, I know, right? What are you doing? That doesn't work. Okay, just do this. That one doesn't work either. And I'm pretty sure that one doesn't work. Okay. Oh, that's right. I had a little Zen garden going on over here. Alright, so we definitely want rosebush boxes up this way. I probably should have done these ones white, but never mind. Let's just turn that way. This is as bad as paving. And we might just leave. Oops. Yeah, we'll leave that there. And I just want to see if I can pull this particular thing here and just drag it. My problem is I can't see what I'm doing when it comes to actually moving it, and it just doesn't seem to move exactly where I want it to. Let's try this. Maybe I can do it down according to that end instead. looks like it might be in line. All right. And I've left the thing open, so of course something's going to cark it. Okay. Oh, it's more in line than it was. I better stop fiddling with it. Okay. We are going to put... what was the thought? Yep, the thought was we were going to do this. It's about there, I suppose. All I'm trying to do is just outline different spaces in the garden. Which we might succeed in doing, maybe. I don't know. Alrighty. I suppose we should give the car a bit of space for takeoff, shouldn't we? How much room do you think it needs to clear a rose bush? Let's give it that much. If they run into it after that, they're in trouble. Grandma will not be happy. So yes, in our atmospheric enclosure, which is temperature controlled, we have hybrid roses that are designed for growing in a low gravity environment on Moon. At least that's what the brochure says. And because the brochure says it, I guess we better make it real. Okay, and we'll just flip that this way. Okay. Oh gosh, now I've got to put rose bushes in what? All of that? Remind me why I did this to myself again. Because it looks pretty, that's why. There we go. Alrighty, we were up to an orange and a white. Let's go with this one. I know it says cream, it's really not cream. But it'll do. I'm not sure whether it's quicker for me to just do one type of rose and then come back and do the second type, or if I should be alternating so I don't have to cover the same ground again, but I have a feeling that this is probably a little bit faster than if I tried to do them all together. So we are going to keep this as a simple pseudo English garden. I did them in red and white, it'd be like the Queen in Alice in Wonderland's garden. Okay. It's going to be white, that one's going to be orange. Oops, messed myself up again. That's okay. But wait, the roses go forever. It's a major selling point. This is a really big garden if you are doing lots of plants. And English gardens are really terrible for that. They're not like a nice, neat, modern garden where you don't have a lot of plants. English gardens are supposed to be mass plantings and banks of flowers, and they take ages to do. But they look really pretty at the end. I'm not so sure I'm going to succeed on the pretty side of things this time, but we'll give it a go. Yep. And that looks like it's going to double up. Okay. Why don't we go the other way this time? Grab our white roses, and we have orange and white, and this should be relatively easy to work out. Anything without a bush in it gets a white rose bush. So yeah, so these are our moon plants. I suppose one of the big positive sides of these things is that if you do have a malfunction in your environmental system and your atmosphere is down outside, you can at least see, because all your plants will be dead. Instant popsicle plants. And possibly floating. They might be dead and popsicles, or they might be completely absent. It all depends. So if you ever see that when you're looking out your window, you'll know you've got a problem. But because we don't want to alarm the client with little details like that, we just won't tell them. Keep the neighbourhood surveillance drone. Will work it out and lock them down if anything bad happens. So there you go, one security system for our Moonbase that they don't even know about, which stops them worrying, which means they're more likely to buy the place. It could also be aliens are allergic to roses, so this place is going to be perfectly secure against them in future. Not that we're saying aliens wrecked the Moonbase in the first place. It's just possibly a poor choice of tenants who happen to be aliens. I don't know, you can let your imagination run riot with these things. I have spent all day writing stories, so I think mine would be settled down by now. Alrighty, where are we up to? We have another lot of boxes to go, and again, and again, and again. Okay, are we done? We are done. Awesome. Well, we're done with the roses anyway. Alright, so it said rose bushes and possibly, I don't know, what else did it want? Blooming, colourful perennials. Well, they're better than annuals. Naturally shaped bushes, no shortage of romantic corners with benches. Benches we need. Sweet smelling roses. We have the vines, we have the roses. We need some more perennials and we need some paths. I would have thought they automatically counted as made of stone, but maybe not. Let's see if we can lay pavers on the moon. Hopefully they won't float away this time. But the maintenance man tells me he's fixed that problem now, so we're all good. Let's do little hex pavers to match the shape of the base, maybe. Okay. You can lay pavers on the moon. Okay, we're just going to do not linked together pavers, we're just going to spread them a little bit apart. It will take less time to lay them. Honestly, this is not your conventional moon base. Do not expect sanity here. So these are kind of more like stepping stone pavers. I feel like a kid that's been let loose with the crayons, honestly. No, we're going to let that be. So I'm going to leave these big areas here as just big, wide open areas. And I think what we'll do is just move these around just a little bit, and we'll let them who put that there? Honestly, it's someone with no sense of spatial concept whatsoever. Let's just drift it this way. Of course, the downside to having rose bushes on the moon is the maintenance of your environmental suits is going to be a little bit more expensive because roses don't care what they catch with their thorns. You're going to need a lot of duct tape. Oh man. Let's just start easing this over this way. I am trying to get a vaguely even spacing, but I am not going to get out there with a ruler to make it happen. I'm just, at the moment, I'm just playing with ideas. So, there's our next little space. We'll just drop these down in here. So this is a garden on the moon. This was not tonight's plan. Tonight's plan was much saner than this. However, this is kind of fun, so I'm not that sorry. Oh my gosh, what can we do with the moon base? Well, you can have a garden. There you go. You know, I think maybe we'll put some pavers up along in front of these guys. Just make it look like, you know, you're meant to walk along and enjoy the forest in a jar. Here we go. I don't know if I like this, but I am definitely not going to undo it all. Next time I do a moon base, we're going to go for a modern garden. I think I say that every time I do an English garden, actually. Next time I'm going to go with a modern garden. Why would that be? Because English gardens are a lot of work. Oops. Awesome. That's right, that was a deliberate zigzag, so was that. That was fine. We have the you can't get through here door. Oh, I forgot. Okay, no, we don't need a path there, that's fine. Okay, and we have... Oh, I know what we need. Okay, I don't know what we actually need. I'm just making it up as I go along. That. You made that up. Yes, yes, I did. Alright, I think we are done with the pavers. All I need to do now is... Oh, wait a minute. No, we're done with the pavers. All I need to do now is work out where I want to put the flowers and the benches, because apparently we're supposed to have little secret bench nooks. So there's one, but I don't think it counts. However, it does count as a spot I should put flowers. So let's grab our plants, grab our flower beds, grab our flowers. I wonder if I can put some of these in. Let's let's do maybe a contrasting color, or possibly, no, let's do a lighter version. There we go. Okay, so no, it will not let me plant those there. There are flowers it will let me plant on the moon. I just have to find them. So it will let me put roses in. No, now it's going to be very strict with me and prevent me from putting rhododendrons in. Oh, come on, moon guys. Where is your sense of adventure? Yellowback Kosovo. Okay. Well, there goes my fun for the evening. So it looks like maybe only the roses can be planted on the moon base. I'm still pleased I found that. That's kind of cute. No, not even lavender is hardy enough to survive the moon. Rose bushes? Yes. I must have chosen the one thing they haven't turned off for the moon. Probably that will be something they fix in future. Okay. Well, there goes my other idea. Everyone can breathe a sigh of relief. We are going to maybe have a look at some Kaufman tulips if they're not too big. And we're going to possibly do them in canary and see if we can fit them in here. Because yellow is such a happy little colour. I mean, I'm not even sure you're supposed to be able to put planter boxes with plants in them outside. So this is just because I wanted to have plants around my walls and I wanted to see what could happen with it. So no doubt there will be a fix sometime in the future if I'm not supposed to have done this. But this is my Moonbase system. And sometimes you can get things to work. Here's the one thing computer games have taught me, is that occasionally there's a workaround. And the other thing it's taught me is that occasionally you give the devs heart attacks. It sounds like a fair trade to me. I love this game. And alright, so what I'm hoping is that this is going to be enough for our garden contest judges, once I get all of these things in, to be happy with the amount of furniture in the garden, and hopefully let us sell our house for a slightly higher price. It's not quite the massed planting that you would do on an earth-based English garden. I really like being able to add the colours in though. It's all about the pretty. I need to do something about the carpets in the lounge room, because I was looking at my thumbnail the other day and it was driving me crazy because it looked really boring. So I'm thinking we're going to go with a bright vivid carpet. I'll give it this, I did not expect the moon garden to take quite as long as a normal garden would. And it's looking okay. So I'm pretty pleased to see that that is actually working. So the reason I'm kind of ducking away from the plants and coming in close is when you get too close to them, that the leaves kind of stop you planting. So you can crouch just by hitting C, or you can back up and just extend the pointer. Or you can do both. And away we go. So one of the things about Garden Clipper is I think it takes a bit longer to do a garden than it actually does to do an interior on a house, on average. So there you go. So that's it looks okay, I guess. I'm just surprised that the real estate agent really likes it, because he's pretty much a cheapskate when it comes to houses, but I've been able to put most things inside this house and still have him come out on top. Which is interesting, because the businessman is still interested and he hates the cheap stuff, so it's kind of interesting how that's kind of worked. Okay. The other good thing about doing a garden on the moon is it doesn't get dark, which means that by the time I want to screenshot this, I won't be doing another dark thumbnail screenshot. Oops, did I do over here? Not all the way, okay. Gosh. Okay, what have I missed? Okay, I've missed the insides. That's okay. We'll come back and do those in a tick. So we'll just go around the outside first. Much clickery shall be had. Actually, we can do these while we're here. Remind me again, why did I choose an English garden? Oh, because I put vines on the walls, that's why. I knew that. What? So many flowers. What's my budget doing? The garden's also the place where you're most likely to go right through your budget if you're not careful. An English garden where you're putting a lot of plants in, that's easy to do. They do look better when you mass them together rather than when you span them out though, these tulips. They look really nice. Put in. might do. Alrighty, let's go back to, but wait, there's more. Actually, that looks really good going into the door like that, except for my slightly cockeyed path. So this particular episode is using, or this particular build uses the Garden DLC, the HGTV DLC, the base game of course, and what else? Oh, and the Apocalypse DLC. Actually, I think I've used everything in this build because inside we've got the security doors, the blast doors that you find in Apocalypse Flipper. I sometimes wish there was a way I could put mass flowers in, but there doesn't seem to be, so bear with me. We're going to see if the game will recognise an English garden on the moon. Alright, I think I'm going to run out of time to finish tonight, but we are definitely going to finish it up tomorrow. I might just get these in. Alright, so the same amount of effort's going to be required whether you use these big planters on the Earth or on the Moon. If you're going to do planters with mass plantings in, it's going to take you a little while to fill all the boxes. You will need to put, if you're going to do a big center plant, you'll need to put that in first because it tends to not go in otherwise. There we go. But, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this comes when it comes out when I've finished with it. Still crouched. That's probably not a good idea. Wait, there's another box. Here we go. And again. just see, am I crouching? I am crouching, okay. Let's try not crouching quite so much. There's a gardener with aching knees. Tell you what, I'm probably, there we go. Not going to want to see another bit again for a while. Here we go. We were about due for another English garden, I think. You know what would be good is if you could do one box like this and then duplicate it, so you didn't have to go and repeat the process in each box. You could just kind of tell the game that you wanted to do multiple boxes like this, and it could like copy and paste only plants, but you'd still have to think about your design, but you just wouldn't have to spend, like, you wouldn't have to repeat the process over and over again a gazillion times. You could literally make up one box like this and then just go, well, I like that, and then just go copy and use it a number of times, and that would make the gameplay just a little bit faster and a little bit easier for people who are doing multiple paintings. That would be pretty cool to see. Mind you, I have no idea if it's possible. I only write stories, I don't do games, design them. Should be possible. I mean, if you can copy pictures, you can surely copy a group of pictures, right? Maybe like a save box of flowers. I really like this crouch tab. It helps so much with things like this. Just getting the flowers in under the certain, under a certain rate so you can get them in. I've spent nearly $10,000 on flowers for this build. They're expensive little beggars. See, I suppose then if you're doing a save box or a duplicate box, you'd have to be able to have a way of duplicating the price as well as the actual image. So it's probably not as simple as it sounds. You've all heard of an octopus's garden. Well, this is a moon monster's garden. There you go. And the moon monster likes tulips. And roses. Because he originally came from Loch Ness. And there's no heather here, so he's allergic to heather, which is why we have tulips. And roses because he was on the wrong side in the War for Independence in Scotland. Hunted by a line of kings, he was not impressed with the Bonnie Prince Charlie. He was a monster on the wrong side of history, or the right side, depending on your point of view. Who knows? There we go. You can fit a lot of flowers in these boxes. Who knew? They look pretty good actually. I like it. You can kind of look out at the moonscape framed between leaves and blossoms, and it's really relaxing. Okay, whose idea was it to put all these flowers in this box? This garden. There we go. Sometimes just putting the pointer across some of the other plants interferes with how you set up the next lot. This is like planting a whole field or a whole yard of tulips. I reckon the equivalent would be something similar. Good. This is not the first time. I think I've tried to use them before, but anyway, they work this time. again. Alright, it's almost a welcome sight on the moon now. Almost. Are we there yet? No, we're not. Oh my gosh, we've got a whole nother field to do. Ah. Alright, let's just get it done. Yeah, we definitely need a way to duplicate big flower boxes like this once you set one up if you want to repeat them. So you need to be able to duplicate not just how it looks, but how much it costs. And then maybe a way to save it, so if you want to keep it for future house builds you don't have to do it all again. That would be really good. My hands getting tired from all the clickery and the pointing. Are we there yet? Okay, so I've basically got, how much have I not done? Oh my, that is a lot of roses, just excuse me. Sorry, my nose is a little bit sniffy because it's winter here. Alright, so we have done okay. Wow, there are a lot of, okay, so we've done this entire quadrant here. Okay, good. Let's just make sure we finish off this side of the house first. Gosh. Yeah, we definitely need a box duplicator for this kind of thing. So you kind of compose your garden and then you duplicate out how many units of it you want. And I want to have it all in there, so we're just going to do it anyway. Get it all. Okay. Here we go. Alright, that's that section there done. That's that section there done. And here. I don't need to do over there, they're all done. They're all done. Okay, so we've gone all the way around here, that's pretty good. We haven't done here, let's get that one done. That's done. Oh man. Feels funny, I've just actually had a day of space battles and writing them, not actually fighting them because that would have been traumatic. But yeah, just writing them magic. And here I am flipping a Moonbase and putting an English garden on it. It feels kind of surreal. Especially decorating a Moonbase with bright yellow and orange flowers. That's it definitely feels a bit like, I don't know, Salvador Dali, Roald Dahl. Okay, so I'm looking at the time. I'm thinking I'm definitely out of time, so we might just do a quick wander through. I might just set up the dining nook before we go, and then I think next session we're going to, well, I could make you sit through putting in more flowers next session, or what I might do is go offline and finish putting the rest of these flowers in. You've pretty much seen how I'm doing it, and you know the logic of it, so I've got all of this to do, so I might do that offline so you don't have to sit through it, and pretty much all of these to do, so I'll do them offline as well. And then tomorrow when we do a walkthrough, I'll just walk you through and you can see them all, how they look when they're all done. But this is the effect we're kind of aiming at, just to get it all through. And that's that, but we might go and do a room to finish off with. This is our study nook. I was going to say, did that door close automatically, but they don't. And the study nook leads into the bedroom. The bedroom leads into here. Now, I'm not happy with this carpet. It's been driving me nuts in the thumbnail. So I'm thinking what we're going to do with it is we're going to actually change it for a green one. And we're just going to put in a darker green on the floor. And we're going to zap in this way, and we're going to do the same with this one. Right. I won't do the bathroom today, I'll do that tomorrow. This should be done. Yep, this is our entry atrium, so we'll leave that the way it is. That's our kitchen. So what I wanted to do was the dining nook tonight. And I think what we might do, is that juddery to you or is that just me? It looks very juddery. Anyway, we are going to use that. Matter of fact, before I forget which one I want, we're going to put it down. That's going to lead us through into the dining room. We are going to grab our green carpet because we can. I know I didn't want to do green in the other room, but I definitely want to do green here. So we'll just grab that there. And put that under there so that we don't get any drafts. No one wants a draft on the moon. Oops, no one wants a column in the middle of their entry hole either. So this is just kind of meant to be a fairly relaxing, calm green room where you can have a bit of morning tea or a bit of breakfast and look out at the landscape and enjoy it. And I think we're going to do young flower bud, possibly. Although it is a bit yellower. Let's have a look at this spring grass instead. Oh, wait a minute, that might be... Okay, that looks kind of bright. So it's either this one or, no, not that, gosh. Or some of this. Yeah, okay. So basically the spring flower bud goes a little bit better with these chairs that I'm thinking of using. And we'll just get this done. I definitely prefer that that dark green carpet to that grey in the other room. And now that I've seen how the green looks in here, I'm really tempted to go and change that to a green floor in the other room. But that would then mean I'd have to change the walls, and I'm not sure I want to do that. So what we're going to do is just get this bit here done. Make sure we get the uprights so we don't have a white outline around our door. If I remember rightly, you've just got to sit the dot right on the edge. There we go. And as I discovered with blast doors, they actually don't even fill half a space. They fill about a third of a space, so you've got to position them exactly on the edge of a door in order to avoid getting, if you want to do different colours on either side. Otherwise you'll end up with a space that's got a different colour to where you're at. So Jack Tarrington likes his walls painted. He's a bit like that. There we go. Alright, that's our painting done. And yeah, so we're just going to grab this and center it. And there really is nowhere we can put these chairs where they're not going to be in the middle of a doorway. So I'm going to sit them closer to this end. Then I think what we'll do is we'll grab see, sometimes I can remember. So they can either sit exactly opposite. Yeah, they're going to have to. Oh, I see what I've done. I forgot to change the colour of the legs on the chair, so we're actually getting a slightly nicer effect. There we go. You'll notice Dolan Trusk in the corner there, the guy that's second from the top, is now switching places every now and then with the businessman. So if you really, really want to get the, sorry, not the businessman, the real estate agent to buy the house at this point, just be really careful about what furniture you put in. Basically want just enough space for someone to come through that other door without wrecking their knees on it. Because it doesn't really matter which way you cut this particular room, it's going to be a menace. Okay, so we now have 2 armchairs, a nice view, and yeah, we need bookshelves up there. There's only really one kind of bookshelf that's going to fit nicely in there, and that's going to be these ones. And we'll just put that in, give it a nice golden touch, and we'll buy, you know what, maybe not the tall ones. And actually I'm rethinking my gold touch. I think I might stay with white. So this room is no longer for quick exits. You're going to trip over something if you try it. Okay, and we need a light at the top. Grab that. Center it. Make sure we have a light switch. Yep, and we definitely need our pictures, and I think we're going to use the forest. I don't think I used them inside. I could be wrong. We're just going to use these forest waterfall paintings. I know I thought about them, but I can't remember if I actually used them. Actually, I know which ones I didn't use. But they're really small. Okay, no, we will go with that after all that. Okay, rug chairs. We can either go with flowers, and I would stick it just brings out the yellow in the painting is what I'm thinking, but I don't like it. We'll go with that. And we'll do a quick buy many. Yep. Alright, there's our Moonbase in green. So that I think is where I'm going to leave it tonight. We are tomorrow. Tomorrow I will have done all of this if I can just get myself out the door. Tomorrow I'm going to actually try and get all of this done, as in have it already done by the time I log on. It's a bit of work there, so I'm not sure how it'll go. And then, I know there I go, leaving a door open again. Then what we'll do is we'll just finish up the bathroom and go to auction. So that should be pretty much it. There is our vehicle. Just trying to get a shot of that. That doesn't really work. Yeah, okay. So pretty much, oh, we can use this. It's like the gate on a normal house. You can choose any of the properties that you own, or you can return to the office in your Moonmobile. Oh, nice. That I didn't know. All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to leave you. Thank you very much for hanging with me, and I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Take care out there. If you like the episode, please hit like, and if you want to see more, please hit subscribe, and I will see you later. Take care. See you around.